Well, I'll scroll back up here, and another tab is the Soil Data Explorer. And this is wide-ranging. It's got a list here of a wide range of uses for soils. And if we scroll down here, we'll talk primarily about, I think we'll talk about vegetative productivity. So I'll scroll down a bit more. And look for yields of irrigated crops. And let's choose corn as a crop here. And if I click on View the Rating, it's going to add a color-coded rating to what the yield potential is for the soils as they're mapped in this farm. Now you have to kind of scroll down to see what the color code means, and at some point there's an option to add a legend. I'm not sure where that is. Well, I'm not quickly seeing that. Should have looked that up before I got here, but basically the color codes would suggest areas that have higher or lower yield potential. So basically these dark blue soils here on this research farm are the highest yielding potential soils. And these soils that are here, the Butler and the Fillmore soils in the southeast corner, have slightly lower yield potential compared to those soils that are better drained. There's quite a range then of properties that you can look through here in the web soil survey, and I won't take the time to do that in detail. But it is interesting to look at these various maps. You can click on the tab for soil properties and qualities, look on soil chemical properties. If we look at pH and view a pH rating, in this case we have to look at depth. So I'll talk about the top 8 inches. So it's looking at the soil pH in the top 8 inches, creating a map of what the typical pH would be for these soils as they are mapped. Now it's important to remember that these are mapped according to the soils as they've been classified, not necessarily how these soils have been managed for the last 10 or 20 or 50 years. So pH may or may not have much bearing to how these soils are mapped today because of how farmers have managed those for crop production. And then finally at the end, if you're interested, you can scroll up to the top, create a report of a range of properties that actually will print out a small version of the county soil survey just for the farm that you've identified with the various properties that you have an interest in. So that's an exercise that probably you might have an interest in looking at for your students. It's very interesting to explore the home place. Any questions on the web soil survey?
Hey Richard, scroll down. That bar 0 to 25, 35, is that elevation? What is that? You see what I'm saying? Looking at there.
Oh, that's a scale bar. So that distance here, from here to here, is about half a mile. That's to give you some idea of the size. Yeah. Any other questions?
Does the website let you print out?
Yes, yes. If we come back up to the top, there's a button here for a printable version. I don't remember if that's the full report or that may just be this page. It's not letting me go there actually. Yeah, I think you need to go to the shopping cart here, and then it builds a report for you with what you would like to include in the report. So yeah, down here. So you would print it locally on your own printer. Yeah,
It's kind of hard to try to remember the old letters for the soils and then
yes.
associate them with the number. Is there a key like a 3300 number or 6600 number? Are them numbers kind of aligned with a certain soil family or series?
That is a problem that I have. So no, Mike or somebody else with NRCS might have a better clue on that. But
The reason they went to that is because they're the HD soil, for example, I grew up in Rockville, Webster County was a horde soil. I got used to that. Well, HD is mapped the same, could be something else in another county in Nebraska, so they went to the numbering system. The best thing to do is print out the soil legend from there, and it'll just have a listing of the numbers, and it'll have Holdridge Celt Loam, Fillmore Celt Loam with the number in one column, the name in the other.
So is that legend, then, is it just going to show the ones that you have in your area of interest?
yes,
Yes. Yes, you'll have the legend that'll be specific and have the numbers, so you just compare the map to the numbers, it's got the name. If you're used to Holdridge Celt Loam, you'll have it. It might be 3330 or something like that, it's Holdridge Celt Loam on 0 to 3% slopes.
I still miss that though. I still use some GIS layers that have the old names instead of the numbers, so I don't relate to the numbers as well.
I guess I just kind of sometimes forget that legend tab is right there on the corner. So would you hit it?
Right there?
Yeah.
Okay. Showing this is clicked. Maybe that's just what it will print. I guess I'm not. Well,
How do you find that? Do you see what he just did? He clicked on the.
I mean, just to get the legend,
Yeah.
yeah.
I would just go to Intro to Soils on the far left. Let's see. There should be a basic legend. The very first thing he brought up. Brought it up. The legend. And then in
Well,
the legend, you just do a
we're-
printable
What about
version.
your soil map tab?
Yeah.
I think my there.
There it is. The number is right there. Close that.
Okay.
So they can see it. Right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
And if you go to a printable version, it'll have that for you.
I don't know that it has the capacity to overlay a legend onto the map.